Welcome to Grogley. Today is a bit of a different vlog. We've been to Grogley lots of times, I know, but it's a good place to ride and there are new tracks popping up all the time. But the main thing of this vlog today is sadness because no longer going to be with Orbea. There might be some vlogs after this one that have Orbea in them, so as in the wild. Probably not the Ryan because I'm struggling to ride that anyway with my ankle, so was always going to strip it down and sell it, but it will just be doing that sooner now. I won't wait to get back on it after my surgery. But obviously the Orbea deal kind of came through Pinned, which I became part of, which was great. And maybe I'm probably not someone that would normally get supported by a bike brand. I don't know. My social media is getting better, but it's obviously not massively strong, and my YouTube channel isn't huge, but I appreciate every single one of you that watches these videos. So sadly we have to hand them back. It's extra sad because it was a little bit kind of dodgy around it as well, because we were asked to do a lot of media, go to events, commit to events and do a lot for the brand new Wild launch, only to be told 2 weeks later, after we'd done all that, basically there was no place for Jim or I and Pinned with Orbea anymore. But it kind of was a dodgy email as well, because it said that this was to all ambassadors, when obviously people talk and we know that not all ambassadors got that email, and it was us and a couple of others in the group that got the email and the rest didn't. So what that means is they're culling off the people that they think no longer fit or no longer want, which sadly is us. So at the moment Jim and I are speaking to lots of different other places to see about other support from other brands, which hopefully we'll get, because if you watch Pinned as well, you know that we have our own jobs. YouTube isn't our job. We don't get paid for that, and we don't get paid to ride the bikes. We were given the bikes with a certain amount of stuff we have to do for the brand, but they don't give us any money to do it. So everything else is funded by our day-to-day job like everybody else. But unfortunately that means that certainly me, I don't have the money to buy another bike straight away, because the money that I could do to spend on a bike is actually going to have to go on my surgery, because I need to go private, otherwise I'm going to be waiting 2 years plus to have my ankle operated on, and by then it will be arthritic, which if any of you have got arthritic joints, you know how limiting that can be as it gets worse. And because I'm only in my early 30s, I hate to think what it's going to be like by the time I get to my 60s. But I certainly won't be running ever again if that was the case. Probably not walking that well, and probably not riding a bike either. Anyway though, let's go and have a little rundown here. You might have noticed I'm not wearing any glasses. That is because I have got some new glasses, and they are from Apex, which are really, really good, but they're just going through a load of like rebranding and stuff, and I'm waiting for some low light lenses. So I had highlight lenses in, so you know, dark ones, which are fantastic as I was coming up the hill, and they're so comfy because they've got this like little bit of foam that goes along your head, which is nice. But I got into the trees and I couldn't see anything. So this isn't actually my first run down yet today, but it's my first run down on this bike, because I had a little go on Pete's Trek rail, which obviously like 2 sizes too big at least, because he is like 6 foot something. I'm just going to pull over here, so my ankle's really sore. Why is that so sore? Yeah, so it's like 2 sizes too big, so it's obviously not going to be ideal, but it rode really nicely. And weirdly, P and I kind of have the suspension set up very similarly, and yeah, it felt really good. So there are other brands than Orbea that would be super good, and I mean, I'd love to go back to Orange because I really loved that bike. I just hated the Shimano motor. Not sure what is wrong with my ankle. Well, I know what's wrong with it. Basically, it's got holes in its cartilage. That's what's wrong with it. But normally I do a run, which I have done, and it warms it up and it feels all right, but I can't get it to feel all right. It's hurting. I wonder whether it's because it's so dry. So there's a definite thing of when trails are dry and slippery, it makes a big difference with how how the ride is. So you're doing a lot of bumping around, but it's so dry. And I think, I think that's what it is. It's like under a lot more vibration than when the trails are wet. It's really hurting. I also think I'm tired. Well, I don't think I'm tired. I am really tired. It's been a very stressful week. Incredibly stressful week. Couple of weeks actually. Because also Jim had his off and I was up there, and at the same time work got really busy, which is really good. But that means I was like trying to think about that and juggle all those things. So I'm really tired. So I think I'm riding quite defensively. I have just slowed the high-speed rebound down by 1. So hopefully that will help. When I was in Scotland, I actually quickened the rebound and firmed it up a little bit. So I kept the PSI the same, but I just played with the settings a bit because I felt really, really good. Although, funny enough, when I came back from Scotland and had my MRI, I had loads of bone bruising. So think what you like about that, the fact that I made it firmer. But definitely I have noticed the last few rides, when it is being dry trails and chattery dry trails like this, even somewhere like Langdegler, I was kind of holding on quite early into the ride on the back with my feet, to be honest. So I think just when it's dry and loose and fast like this, I have got to slow it down. Also, I just rode Pete's bike just for that one lap, but his rebound is a lot quicker because he's obviously bigger than me, and I did feel that was quite bucky, so I imagine I worked quite hard on that to keep the back end of the bike down even on that one run. So lap number 3, but really lap number 2. So I took Pete's trek down this one, and that's when I realised I couldn't see with the glasses, so I had to like really slow it down. I've got the footage in there though, now put it in. But yeah, I had to massively slow everything because I literally couldn't see. So okay, it is feeling marginally better with that rebound slowed, which is good. There's what's going down like one of the bumpiest tracks. It's just so stiff. Okay, so we're definitely gonna have to go slow today. So where I have the problem is, you imagine when you're doing a high-speed rebound, the bike's chattering. So the bike's doing that, the suspension's doing it for you, great. But the trouble is, my ankle is being a passive passenger and it's just staying there. So it isn't doing anything. Which means, 1, it's not absorbing anything. 2, my foot's in the wrong place because the heel's not going down. And 3, it's keeping all my weight on the back of the bike whilst I'm trying to keep that heel down, which is why it feels like the fork's really hard. It isn't, it's just I can't ride over the front of the bike because I can't get there because I'm being thrown to the back because of my ankle. Apex glasses and goggles, I'll show you later. They're really good. So they're bigger than the Melons, and I really like the Melons, but this Apex deal is a new deal and there's some features on them that are really cool. So like for the goggles, for example, the lenses are magnetic, which is nice. You don't have to sort of try and manhandle the plastic into plastic. The glasses have that foamy bit, as I say, which means, like for me with a really small face, not that I had this massive problem with Melon because they made smaller glasses for smaller faces, which was perfect. But because Apex only have one size, they've included this really cool, again, it's like magnetic bit of foam that sits against your forehead like here. So it secures the glasses to your face, which makes them a lot better. Because I had some Smith optic goggles before and they were no good because they were so big. They made me look like I had frog eyes, but also I had a Smith helmet as well, which made me look like a mushroom because that was far too big. Okay, so had a little break. And we'll drop into another trail. I'm trying to remember, so the trails that are like smoother here are the ones that then get steeper. So it's like catch-22, because when it's steep, it also puts obviously more pressure through your ankles, because you've got to put your heels down because it's steep. So it's really awkward. And it's just carrying the fatigue. And like I said, it's a lot of mental fatigue. It's been a tricky couple of weeks, as it was, and then the Orbea stuff on top of that, and then it's just up and down all the time. Don't like to moan, but sometimes that's just sort of the way to kind of get it out of your head. And I know everybody's struggling with things. Like, life is at the moment hard work. That is so loose, unbelievably loose. Yeah, and like, everybody's struggling with something, and I know that's all the way. And I got it a lot easier, and oh my god, what an opportunity I have had with Orbea and all these other things. And I know the bike industry is in a mess, but for me, the riding's just like so important. It's a thing I really like doing, and the other thing I really like doing is something that I can't do at the moment as well, which is running. So it's trying to then find other things that you like, and it's hard when everything you like is physical. And if you've got no physical outlet and you're a bit like me, things become really, really difficult. And the winter was hard. I struggled in the winter, and then I was really looking forward to now. So because everything's up in the air, I feel up in the air too. So coming out today, actually, Pete and Simon have gone off to do a bit more of a sort of cross-country pedal, which I didn't want to do, but now I kind of regret it, because I probably should have done that, but I didn't know how my ankle was going to feel to it. But if it wasn't for them coming out today, and yesterday I went out for a ride for an hour to do some filming for some mountain bike trousers that were given to me, and again, if it wasn't for that, same as Pete and Simon today, I wouldn't be out riding today, because that's how I feel. It's just, I don't want to do anything. Before I get really mashed with the ankle, I'm going to show you my favourite trail at Grogley, which is one of the new ones. Last time I came here, I didn't film it, but I spent ages and ages trying to get Queen of the Mountain on it. Only to realise that it's not even on Strava. So I went round and round and round and round for no reason, but still, it's a really, really good trail. It's really different to everything else. It's really dusty at the moment, but it's loamy when it's dry, and it's just really cool. It's much more techie than some of the other ones here, and lots of the more techie ones here as well have become so deep channels now because they're really old, which adds a whole new element, but this is like really fresh. Anyway, you're going to see, so I'm going to show you. So we're going to hit it carefully, first time down it, and obviously ankly, carefully, although it shouldn't be too bad. There are roots on here, but it's not like constant chatter like some of the other tracks, and because it's generally a slower moving track as well, because it's a more techy one, the fact that it's slower makes it better on my ankle, which kind of sounds weird, but that's kind of how it is. So much drier than even the last time I came down here, which is mad, because I thought it was dry last time I came down, but it's even drier again. Such a good track. If you come to Grogley, you definitely want to do that one. Get back on Pete's bike again sometime. I didn't do that little gap jump that I did on this one, which is just as well, because the the shock did actually buck me on another little double, and had I gone over that, I probably would have been bucked off. So that's not a bad thing. Okay, so this is the track I did the first one on my bike, where it was hurting and I had to turn the thing down. So already it feels better just by being that little bit slower. So that's good. I think today what I'll just have to do is do a little track and then rest, which I don't really like doing. I like to do 4 runs, but beggars can't be choosers, right? My eyes are watering so much without the without glasses, but I'd also be having watery eyes if I ended up crashing into something because I can't see. So trying to pick your lines through all the routes here. What? Yes, that's more like it. Feel a little bit more into it. I do sort of like go into a panic as soon as it starts hurting, which is even easier at the moment because I might sound positive on this, and I always feel more positive once I've been on my bike for 20 minutes. But you know what it's like, if you're in a negative mindset anyway, it's one little thing goes wrong or whatever and you just end up feeling more negative. Obsessive thing with autism and ADHD as well is like a fixation on stuff. So it can be positive, so you can know, well, I say there are times when it is positive, but the positivity, I don't know if you're following my channel and you're in the same sort of position, but the positivity that starts off good for something, like for work example, starts off really well, but then it becomes negative because it becomes an obsession that you can't put down. So people think, oh yeah, she's so into her work, she's really working really hard. Well, it goes from working really hard and having loads of ideas to basically thinking about work 24 hours a day because you're even dreaming about it as well and becoming obsessed, and you can't put it down and you can't have any rest. And I find that's when I start doing that with work, when I start getting stressed out with work, that means I'm being overwhelmed everywhere in my life, not just the work. So that's a big red flag for me, because I pretty much, I think, had almost like a nervous breakdown. This is turning into a mental health vlog. This is about 2 months ago, because I just kind of, I couldn't stop, I couldn't switch off, and it was all consuming. And I actually looked at my work diary, because I like to write things down, I don't like to type them. Although I do have an app now called Goblin Tools, which is really, really helpful because you can put stuff in and put them in order of how important they are and stuff. And you can actually break it down, if it's like a really big task, into little bits, so they're smaller chunks to do. But anyway, up until that point, I had my work diary, and every day I'd be writing down job lists. And each day I had a job list that was about as long as a week or a month's worth of jobs. And I would expect my brain to be able to do all of those jobs, plus actually do my PT and some of my other physical jobs. So these were jobs on top of that I was expecting to do, and every day I'd be adding more and more things in. And I looked at my work diary when I started to feel better again, because I went and spoke about stuff and bits and pieces with people in it, and it really helped. But I looked back at my work diary, and oh my god, there were scribbles all over the page. So I'd have the few hours a day where I had clients in, and around the few hours a day I would have so many notes and scribbles, crossing out, rewriting, and it literally looked like someone that had lost the plot into madness. And that is where my brain was at that point. Right, I'm not entirely sure where to go next, because we went down that track already, I think twice actually, from 2 different angles. But I can go down here, but this is the bit that's always overgrown and tries to rip you off your bike. So there we go, that's better. Right, that wasn't actually as bad as it. Oh, we've been down here too. That's the trouble with Grogley, it's really hard to remember because all the bits look the same. But mainly I'm trying to avoid going into really scratchy places at the moment. Got scratched a lot yesterday at Codden. I'm going to try and get over to the more right hand side. So not just finish on the right hand side, but where I actually want to come out of is a bit that will take me to a trail. Well, it won't be low now because it's so dry, but it is more of a loma. I want to get over there, but I've got to try and remember how to get over there. So, right, so I should have been there, but I can get onto it. So you can see how all this would be loamy if it was not really dry. That's what's so good about Grog, is that it is nice and rideable, ouch, in the, is that a tracking? Yeah, nice and rideable in the winter. Yes. Whereas some of the other ones, Bishops and Huskies, aren't quite so. There's no way that I could have got to to this track by following any of the other tracks, because it is just kind of built on the edge. So again, proper Loma this, in loamy times, just obviously not loamy right now, although it's a little bit. Just a short section, but quite nice. And then it brings you down on this lower bit of Fire Road. Oh, I have. Never mind, from your point of view, all the tracks probably look the same anyway, to be fair. Down here. One of the good things with these high-ride bars is the fact that when you're dropping into something like I did just there, it gives you so much confidence to get over the front, which is what I really like about them. If you're on the fence about having them, like if you're thinking, oh, they look really lame, I'm with you, I don't like the look of them, but from a practical point of view of riding, amazing. Having a little rest at the bottom. I'm going to show you my trousers. So they're from, can you see, from Blackline Clothing. So I was talking to them about how I find it very difficult to get trousers. So I'm 5'2". I come from a powerlifting background, so I'm probably not your typical kind of shape, so that kind of heavy lifting leaves its bit of a mark, but I'm also a lot slimmer than I was quite a few years ago, and I don't like things that are really tight. That must be like a sensory thing, I don't like it, which is why I'm normally wearing baggy clothes. But I, for the life of me, now wanted a 32-inch. So I was wearing 32-inch waist, sorry. Now I want a 30-inch. Can I find any? Can I find anything in small? No. When I was wanting to wear medium, there were no mediums. Now I want to wear small, there's nothing. And there's no women's like size 10s, and it's just all really random. Anyway, they had women's and men's clothing on there, and they put up a post about there being some size 10s coming back into stock. But what was really interesting about them compared to other bike trousers is all the adjustment that they have in the waist. So not only have they got the normal sort of buckle, but they've got this. So you can, there's so much adjustment on it, it means that if you want to wear a looser fit, you could have, so I could wear like a size 12 for it to be looser, and they would still stay up because I could adjust the weight, or like what I'm wearing now, can wear the size 10, just have them a little bit tighter, but know that they're not going to get really loose and start falling down after a few washes. They're so comfy, and I thought they'd be really hot, because when I sort of took them out of the packet they felt quite thick, but they're really breathable. They just feel like they should be hotter, but I guess that's the durability of them. So they got some stuff on there that's supposed to be like water resistant, but also obviously crash resistant, and when I was testing them yesterday I did crash, and yeah, they seem fine, but they're so comfy. Trying to take it easy, I have been fighting off horseflies and ticks. So I was sat down and it was quite relaxing, and then I saw a tick crawling on me, so I killed that and stood up, and then a horsefly tried to bite me, so I'm gonna have to start getting moving again. Hope you're enjoying this vlog so far. I'll try and do a different trail now. I'll try. It is difficult, but I think what I need to do is I need to go to the right, but then I need to come left. I've decided I'm going to go to the left hand side, but down the middle. So this way. That's it. So I want to go. So I don't want to do that one because the gap's too big, and if I land that would hurt. Right. So try going along here. Oh, a lot of chatter in that. Trying to find a bit that's like less trattery is really hard. Where am I even going? Oh, I remember this. I always look up at this and go, where's the line? And I've just come down and gone, where's the line? I came down this bit once and there was a massive, like a big bramble bush, and it literally got me across the mouth and split my lip. Like really badly split my lip to the point I felt it first, and then it just like went everywhere. It's so weird, like surreal. I am going to do the newest trail to finish. So it's definitely a no glasses if you're going to come down here, unless you've got clear lenses, because it is really tricky. Like can be super mottly if there's the tiniest little bit of like sunshine coming through the trees. It's really nice though, but it's hard to see. And again, a nice loomer. Pete and Simon, so they've just come across. They've been over in Bishop's Wood for a bit. Oh no! And so they've done a bit of stuff over there. Been in a bit of Huston's Wood, which is over there, so like a little bit more rocky, I would say. Good trails though. Haven't been there much. Last time I went, it was pretty wintry. And quite tricky to ride, but it's got to be a day where I'm willing to be lost, because I don't know my way around there so much, and there is a lot going on and a lot of trails, but it sounds like there might be some new trails in there as well, so I kind of know how this one links up. But if you're looking for a more mellow track, that one that I started on is nice and mellow. Just don't go in there with dark glasses, because it won't be mellow then, because you won't be able to see anything. And anything can become really dangerous if you can't see. And then this is the very bottom section, which I don't normally ride because it takes you right down to the very bottom, and here I don't really want to go down to the very bottom all the time, because then obviously you just got, well, I mean it's not that much extra, but it's a bit of time. I don't know why you do it, because it's not the best trail unless you did want to be down at the bottom. Like if I look at my ankle, it will have a big puffy 1 centimetre lump on it now, so definitely end of the day. But it has been quite nice. I've obviously talked some things through with my invisible friends, and I've listened to my book in a nice bit of countryside, and other than the horseflies, the massive horseflies and the disgusting ticks, it's actually been really pleasant. Thank you very much for watching this video. Give me a comment if you've got any comments on any of the things I've said, or again, like normal places to ride. Not quite sure about these places to ride at the moment because of, I'm not sure kind of really what's happening with not only bikes but other events that I was going to, that hopefully I'll still be going to, but maybe not, and waiting for the date for surgery. And whenever this vlog goes out, it might be that I have some answers for the dates of surgery, which would be amazing, especially since I've just had my pre-op. But thanks again for watching, and I'll see you at the next one.